This afternoon, I have Mike Alfano, good friend, father, husband, and I think a serial entrepreneur. Is that about
Probably.
describe you right?
Could be.
Mike,
Cereal, why not?
well, listen, how many businesses do you have,
A couple.
right? God bless you.
4 or 5.
And you're not a spring chicken,
Nope. I'm up there.
and you keep going.
Yeah, well, they say if you sit down, you fall down and you're done.
Right.
So stay upright and keep moving.
And we'll talk about, so Mike has also, in terms of businesses, he also runs a nonprofit called,
The Anthony Alfano Foundation.
beautiful, and it's inspired by,
When Anthony was alive, we started doing charities.
Anthony being your son.
My son. And when he passed away, we wanted to continue helping those people that needed help. Could be from you can't pay your medical bill, you need a lift somewhere. It wasn't anything directly specific. During COVID, we fed a lot of people, went into restaurants, donated dollars, and they fed the people in the neighborhood. We also do a lot of work with Friends of JJ, which is a also nonprofit. Their son had passed away 10 years ago, and him and Anthony, we lived on the same block, and they played together. So we helped them ever since they formed it in honor of their son, Jerry. And Anthony didn't want anything done. He was suffering from sarcoma. He had a very rare sarcoma. It's basically a childhood sarcoma that gets discovered because they'll break an arm, a leg, a limb. And at that point, they'll go in, they'll repair the broken part, and 90% of the children don't get it. They believe Anthony probably had it for 10 or 15 years before he got diagnosed. And how he got diagnosed is he broke his arm putting a bureau together. He went to buy a IKEA piece of furniture, and he built it, and then he goes, oh, my arm hurts. When we went, and they're not familiar with his cancer at all. So we wound up going to Texas, to MD Anderson, where all they had was experimental drugs. And we did that dance for 5 years. And unfortunately, the treatments wind up getting him, even though the cancer couldn't really be controlled, but it was all the drugs and his body couldn't break it down. And, finally he succumbed to it. So we did this here to honor him and help other people. And that's where we are.
Beautiful. And Anthony was a great kid. I remember meeting him back in 03, 04, 05, because you have a construction company.
Yep.
And I have a construction company. I put a store together.
Right.
And,
we tried that endeavor.
yeah, it was great. You guys, and just, he owned a room when he walked into it, and he was so young. When I met him, he was maybe 22.
Yes, maybe 23. Yeah, he was like the peacemaker. He'd go into a room of chaos and everybody walk out with your friends. He just had that technique, very rare that you find in people.
Such a great personality and so knowledgeable in the field at such a young age, but that's a testament to you sharing that with your boys, because you have 3 boys.
Yes, and they're all in the main business is the construction company. They in it, they run it. They basically are the key people. I go in just to, do things. So I wind up getting into other businesses.
God bless.
And, yeah, they're doing a great job. Business is good. But, money only cures certain problems. After that, you lose somebody, it's all for naught,
You're stumping me, Mike. So, yeah, you and I fighting the same battles, right? Jerry Carino dubbed me several years ago a desperate dad trying to save his son's life. And I can share that title with you as well, because I'm sure when your son was going through his issues, even though he's an adult, right, you were there for him, trying to help him overcome this.
Well, what a lot of people don't know about sickness in general, that when they're developing drugs, the government has a big say in moving drugs down the line. When President Trump originally got in, they came out with drugs, if you're stage 4 and you're going to pass away, they will let you try drugs that will not be on the market. Anthony was fortunate enough that through the doctor's efforts at MD Anderson, they got him on this drug program. When the regime changed, Biden went in and stripped everybody, threw everybody out, and the drug that was available now wasn't available. And not only for my son, but a lot of people got the short end of the stick, to be frank. And so certain diseases can be cured, but it's the politics. They make more money on keeping somebody sick than making them well. And there should be something passed through Congress or where, you know what, no one has the right to deny anybody the help they need. And people that are sick should not be under financial problems because the drugs are too high. You lose your job, you live week to week. There's no support financially to help you. And I think more people pass away from general sickness because they don't have a financial support. Mm-hmm. And I blame the government. We pay tons of taxes. They squander our money. And they do nothing for people that need the money, just in general. Whether you have cancer, diabetes, heart, whatever your sicknesses are, they should not be a burden upon the person that has it. You shouldn't lose your house. You shouldn't go into debt to get treatment that should be given to you. And the prices that they charge for treatment, Anthony, they would say, well, we're going to give you the drug for free, but it costs $9,000 to administer it. I'll put the bag in myself. The ridiculousness of what they can charge is wrong. My son passed away. I got a bill for $450,000 from the hospital. I didn't pay it, but how do you rack up that kind of number? When it comes to this, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think people should collectively worry about what your political likeness is. I think people should band together to fight to get things passed for the general good of everybody. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, whatever you are. People should get together and fight for the good of the society when it comes to medical coverage. And people need help. I was fortunate. I could financially afford what my son needed. I'm not the norm. People need to be listening. People need to go fight. It shouldn't be that you lose whatever you save and you build because you got a catastrophic sickness. Mm-hmm. And unless the people that we vote into office legitimately go to fight and you push back on all the pharmaceuticals and they price you on drugs that you can't afford to buy, I mean, this is America. We're not a third world country, but the people get treated, the people that don't belong here get treated better than the people that are here.
And its citizens.
And we can't get free medical coverage, but if you come from wherever, you can get free medical coverage. Mm-hmm. At whose expense?
The taxpayer.
So, and we always crusaded for people that's sick. When I didn't have a financial way to do it, my wife cut hair. We used to do Paul Mitchell haircuts on the beach. We had a hair salon many, many years ago. We used to give away free wigs to the cancer patients. We used to do their makeup for free because certain chemos at the time would burn their skin. We always did it, always did it, always did it. We did it for more years. Unfortunately, my ulterior motive was I'll help the world, keep it off my doorstep. But it hit my doorstep, and we still do. We never stop giving, we never stop helping. So that's where we are as far as that is. And you know what? There's rain in everybody's house. Mm-hmm. You tell me about your son, I tell you about my son. People have problems. It doesn't have to be catastrophic. It could be anything. It's the way you got to deal with it. I mean, I just went through esophageal cancer and found out I have cancer of the prostate. We'll deal with it. I'm not going to die from it. I'm just annoyed.
And you
Like
just
how much-
overcame a cancer.
Like, how much stuff do you want to throw? But you listen, this is life. No one's getting out alive.
No,
That's
but
why,
to your
people,
point, how much crap can one person take?
and that should just be like, people just be nice to one another. Just do good and do one good thing a day, and maybe it comes back. And whatever I'm going through, no biggie. It's fine. You deal with it, you go through it. But the contempt of that people have for one another, the hatred, it is never seen it. Never seen more lazy society, more entitled of a society. Nobody wants to work. This summer used to come, used to have a ton of people want to work. Nobody wants to work. They all want to play with a game. They want to sit in the basement. They like, what's your ambitions? What's your future like? I just don't get it.
And you're talking about
I'm
young
too
men and
old.
women too, not teenage kids. Young men
No.
and women, right?
I was married and had a family by the time I was 24.
Yeah, that
They're
generation.
32. They're sitting home in the basement. Everybody talks on the phone. No one has communication skills. I just go, wow, this is what our world is coming to. And you know what? Unless enough people do good, we're like throwing a glass of clean water in a dirty ocean, and we're not going to change the way it is. And if more people got into doing generally good and stop worrying about what someone else has. You want what I have? Go to work.
Right.
If you're not going to work for it, you're not going to get it. And you just need to have priorities. You need to have some moral compass. You see stuff on these sites that I don't know who these children's parents are, that you let your kids say things they shouldn't say, expose themselves, which I think is crazy. I just shake my head every day when I see certain things.
Unfortunately, the more out there, outlandish things people do, the more attention they get. And I believe that's a crazy cycle that's perpetuating itself. And that's why these younger generations, there's no interaction. It's all done online for that instant gratification, that like, that follow. It's all being done for all the wrong reasons.
And I think a big part of there's no more family value. There's no more getting together. Everybody's worried about the buck. And they get a buck to buy more stuff that they probably don't need. Life is simple. We make it complicated, And everybody's worried about what the neighbor's doing. No one's worried about what's going on in their yard. So, you could sit here for hours and talk about what's wrong. But you got to sit here and ask people to do right, to do good, and to be a voice in anything that makes sense to be a voice in, and not to be fighting for stupid stuff. So
Well, that's why I respect and appreciate you and had you on the show, because what you're doing with the foundation is you're leading by example, right? You could be sitting home with every right to mourn your son and be upset about your son, but you're continuing on his legacy through your charity, which is amazing. And speaking of which, you guys have an event coming up soon, right?
May 3rd, we have an event which includes Friends of JJ, Jar Hope Gym, and the Anthony Foundation, which it's at the Tilling House. We have, it's a casino night. You could look it up on, I don't know what sites it's on. You probably know better than me.
It's on the Friend of Anthony Alfano's. It's
Right.
on that site. It's on the Jar of Hope site. And Friends of JJ, is it?
Yes, friends of
Right.
JJ
Yeah.
also. And yeah, if anybody wants to come down, be my pleasure. The money's going to all good summer charities, but we're friends of JJ. All their money is 100% given back. Our money is given back. Jim's thing is given back. We don't give it to the Cancer Foundation, and 10 cents goes to the neighborhood and 90 cents goes to somewhere else. We put the money back in the neighborhood, and we do a lot with the local hospitals. And so that's the good thing, that the money is not being squandered. It's being used dollar for dollar.
So something it's a tough conversation, right, to ask this question. But one, are you familiar with FON that takes place at a university? I
No.
won't mention the university. So there's a
No.
university in a very stone's throw away that raises tens of millions of dollars. They've raised $170 million in the last 10 years. It's been going on for decades, and in total, they've raised $260,000. And it goes to a particular research center to fight cancer. Now, I'm just enamored, and I'm not sure if you're aware what the NIH does for cancer as a society, as
No.
a community. They donate $5 billion, that's what it'd be, annually to fight cancer. And now you've been through it with your son. You're sitting here as a patient now, recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, I believe you said?
Yes, not pancreatic, prostate,
Prostrate.
if I'm pronouncing it right.
Prostate cancer. You've been in the community since your son is sick. 170 million. What is your feeling that they're doing with this money? Because that's one. You got $5 billion from the NIH. $5 billion a year. Could you imagine? What could you do with $5 billion a year? I guarantee you would cure cancer of every
I'd
form.
cure something.
Right?
I'd definitely cure something.
I think there's a difference when you use the money unfettered with passion and intent to cure something instead of paying to keep the lights on, employing people to create jobs in that environment. I think it just perpetuates the disease state.
Well, my opinion on that is when it's not your money, you don't respect it. You have people fighting to get the money into these different research, and look at the facilities that they build. I don't think you need a building that costs $100 million to work on curing a drug. The drug has nothing to do with the facility, but you walk into these massive, gorgeous lobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Why? So they're not being restricted, and who's ever managing the money is not doing a good job.
Right.
I would tend to believe if they took regular business people to run these organizations, they would find more money. Because if I don't do a good job, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, I can't pay my employees. If I don't pay my employees, I close my doors.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the government. You do a road construction, you put a bid in for $1 billion, you go over 500 million. You just keep slipping the paperwork in. No one tells you you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You think research is different? They're not accountable. I've never seen a report. What did you pay for those chairs? So the money just gets taken, thrown, and you experienced that when you were getting money for your son's research, and they wound up giving it to a different foundation. Okay, so what was that all about? So did you get a kickback on the other side? Because I believe a lot of this money, there's other people getting it through a bunch of different scenarios, and it doesn't have to be someone gave you a physical envelope of money,
Right.
but, well, maybe you sell a product that they can use, so they'll buy it from you. And there's a lot of other ways to extract gratuities, and it doesn't have to be in the form of a satchel.
Unfortunately, I think you preach
I
the
don't,
gospel.
because when you throw that kind of money at anything, there's got to be a cure. But if you're selling a drug that's the treatment, Anthony was doing treatments, they were 35, 40, some stupid number. Okay, well, how much does that drug really cost?
Mm-hmm.
So the pharmaceuticals are going to feed the propaganda so that you stay on medicine. You're a diabetic. They don't want you to get cured. Look how much money they're making, billions. So they're not going to cure anything. The only way they cure something, if you're a politician, a congressman, a president, vice president, where your kid, someone in your family got something, and they're going to pick up the phone and say, find a cure, because it's for me.
Right.
Instead of pick up the phone and let's find a cure for everybody. So, and in life, it's who you know, not what you know. Because what you know don't get you anywhere.
Right.
It's who you know that gets you somewhere. Everybody may argue with me. That's my personal opinion. And it's just not right what happens in the medical industry. And now everything's becoming a conglomerate. The smaller guys are getting eaten up by the bigger guys. And now they put a price on something. You can't go shop it. You need that drug, you're going to pay that price.
Yeah,
If you don't get
no
it,
choice.
you die from it. Next, you become a statistic of why something didn't work properly. So,
And some of these drugs, or the way they're going about treating a cancer in particular, and you experience this with your son, is what they're administering sometimes can be worse than the cancer itself.
yes, and that's why you sign your life away when you get those drugs, because they don't want to be sued. And they will literally have you try anything because you just become a statistic. And certain hospitals with certain cancers, they won't take you on because they don't want the, what's the word? The mortality of losing people, because it supposedly feeds into the money that they get on the survivor rate. Like, you got this wart, we can cure it. And so they don't want the negativity of if they can't cure you.
Right.
We cured X, but we lost X. Again, it's all political. If you're going to help a person, you help them. What do you care what the backlash is on the numbers? Because all these hospitals are fighting for the same piece of pie. And a lot of doctors that work in the hospitals don't get their just due because the hospital's trying to make a buck.
Everybody's squeezing everybody.
Well, that's what it is. You're playing like Johnny on a pony. One guy's jumping on top of the other, and we're going to split it, and you jump. And the government's got billions of dollars to waste, and hopefully with this new administration, whether you like him or not, maybe he cleans it up. But the government should be subsidizing all people that need to get their bills paid. Legitimately, no fraud. Johnny Jones, I just got a bill for $100,000, got to be paid. Okay, submit it to this office. We're going to cover the bill.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have the burden on you.
But then people would claim that's socialism.
It's not socialism, because if you get stricken with something that limits your ability to earn an income and pay your bills, that's not anything like that.
Well,
I don't want to support the world, but I want to take care of every person that legitimately needs to be taken care of. Whatever your criteria is.
right.
You have a mental health problem, let's get you the help you need. You got cancer, you got diabetes, you got heart, you got whatever it is. It should be a government's position. You don't want to cover it 100%? Do something. Mm-hmm. Control the pharmaceutical companies. Control what people pay when you get into a hospital. Because the nurses ain't getting that kind of money, aren't getting that kind of money.
Right.
Doctors aren't getting the pay that they're deserved. And the nurses are the ones that make the doctors look good.
Right.
It's not the doctors, because they're the first one in the room. They're the first one to have compassion. They're the first one to make sure everything is going right. They are so severely underpaid.
And they're the last ones they're in the
Government should
room.
come in and say, look, whatever you make, we're going to give every nurse, here's a $5,000 bonus. We just got done finding $200 billion that we weren't sending condoms to the African Republic or something. Okay, send the money over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that we don't have money. You just have the wrong people giving it out, and it's just too much politics. You need to take regular business people and put them into politics, and they'll show where you can make a profit and you can make things run better. You can't have a politician doing politics and doing money. They don't have a concept.
Right. I agree with that.
They don't know what it is to pay somebody. And they all go in broke. They come out worth all kinds of money. How does that happen?
Right, $175,000 a year
How do you
job.
make
They'd be
175
millionaires.
and you're worth 40 million? I want that job. I mean, we all should sign up for that job.
Well, there might be hopefully a Senate seat in my future, because I believe that's the only way that I can really make some change. But we'll see where that lands. So we're going to take a commercial break right now. Again, I want to thank our sponsors for today. Mike Alfano is the sponsor for today's show. Please go and visit Guzzo's on 79 and Tennant Road in Morganville, as well as the Bagel Nook in Shrewsbury. So this afternoon, we're here talking with Mike Alfano, founder of AnthonyAlfanoFoundation.org. Please check him out on the website. Make a donation. Please support this charity. They're doing great things for, is it just children with?
Primarily children, but, if the phone rings, we don't really turn anybody away as long as there's money in the checkbook to keep giving it out, because that runs dry after a while.
People don't understand that.
Yeah, well, you called too late, sir. You were number 9. We ran out of money with number 8. Come back next year when we start this process all over again.
And one of the good things is May 3rd at the Tilling House, 8 o'clock.
Yes.
There's going to be a casino night. It's going to be a great event. The food at the Tilling House is amazing.
Their steakhouse is unbelievable.
Ryan DiPercio is one of the chefs there. The guy, he won Top Chef several years ago. Forgive me for not knowing what year that he won, but he's a part of the Tilling House, and he's unbelievable.
Yeah, everybody that goes there, they rave about it. They say the atmosphere, the food, the people are nice. The few that I met, very social, very engaging. They're all about what I could do to make it easier for you to have your affair here. They don't say no for anything you ask them. Never met the owner or anything, but the staff is excellent, so the owner's reflection on him.
Right. And you being in the food industry yourself, right? Guzzo's Bakery in Morganville. We were just talking about that, some behind-the-scenes stuff. So let's talk about a few minutes about the baked goods, especially the Italian bread.
Yes. The Italian bread is made by hand.
God bless.
No machinery. We make several different types. It's made fresh every day. All the pastries are made daily, all the cakes. We do a lot of custom. We do wedding cakes, birthday cakes, anything you could think of, we can make it, do it, deliver it. It's basically a family-run operation. We're not big, but we're good. And if you want some quality, fresh, homemade cakes, come down and see us.
Like a restaurant, when you go there, right? You always
Yes.
ask the waiter, what would you eat? What do you like?
There's so much there. My waistline's getting bigger. If it's sweet, it's my thing.
Right. Okay, so you don't have a favorite?
I like our cheese Danish. Our cheese Danish is really, really good. Our apple pie is excellent, and our cannolis are to die for.
And you have tables, so
Yes,
people
we
can
do.
go there and they can eat
Oh
the
yeah, you
dessert
could
there,
sit,
right?
you could eat, you could have dessert. We serve lunch.
You serve espresso.
Yes, we do. We do have espresso. You could have your espresso with your cannoli.
Excellent. So I'm running a 50-mile race May 14th in the desert. So from now until then, I'm on a weight loss journey. But when I come back, you and I, we're gonna have to meet, have
Yes.
espresso together, like some real Italians.
What desert are you running in?
The Mojave.
No sugar.
Yeah, yeah. This is what I do. This is what. So, for me, it's raising money for Duchenne muscular dystrophy and saving my son's life. For us, I need $20,000, and that's a net number, every 45 days for therapy for him because it's not covered. But
That's my point.
yeah,
Why should the burden be on your back when the government, and you know what's strange about that disease? I think that disease has got to be around 70 years, maybe more. And through the telethon with Jerry Lewis, they raised, I don't know how much money,
500.
and they're no further along with a cure for that specific disease. And you want to tell me what? How is that possible?
That's why he left angry. A lot of people said Jerry was nasty, but behind the scenes, Jerry was upset. He raised all that money.
I guarantee if they gave you 2% of that money, you could probably find some sort of cure for your son because you have a vested interest
100%.
where these other people don't. I mean, if you really read the statistics on the Red Cross and the Heart, very little of the money that they raise goes to the research of what they're raising the money for.
It's terrible.
Susan G. Komen, I don't know, maybe they raise $1 billion a year, and I think, what is it, 8% goes towards the cancers that they're working on. How is that possible?
That's awful.
I mean, then you see these nonprofits where the CEO takes, I don't know how many millions.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing that you need to take that money?
Well, I hate to say it or bring it up, but that's why that one fellow was shot. You know, the one, he wasn't the founder or the CEO of United Healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
He ran one of the divisions.
Of course.
But that's why the motive of the guy who shot him is because of several different things, but one of them being that's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
United Healthcare is a nonprofit.
Killing part of something is not going to fix the rest of it. So that was mute.
But it's a statement. I'm not justifying it.
No, but the statement should be all people go out and vote. Bring up these items. You want to worry about the climate. You're worried about the water raising. Well, don't worry about that stuff. We're all going to be dead before that kills us. How's about you worry about getting these massive companies that make so much profit that this money should be re-given back to a Jar of Hope, JJ and Friends, all these micro organizations that are fighting for something good. Because giving the money to the Heart Foundation, you haven't changed anything in the Heart Foundation. All I see is new buildings, better cars, bigger payrolls. What are you doing?
Right. At the end of the day.
That's what the voting should be. This is where people should get together, and you want to fight for a particular disease, get your family and friends. Make a petition. Write a letter to your congressman, to your senator, to your, whoever you need to let them know that this is what we're interested in. You worry about the price of eggs? How's about you worry about where a disease destroys a family, breaks up marriages?
Because they do. By the
Okay.
dozens.
And it's all over not having the financial means, which is a stress within itself. So you all want to be mad at something? Be mad at what's not being done for your loved ones. Be mad about what's not going right. be mad about a lot of things. Not whether you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're an independent. Forget the titles. Because at the end of the day, you got to go to work. You got to pay your bills. You got to support a family. And if you have sickness in your family, you'll have to deal with the sickness. So whether I would be Republican or Democrat, my life is got up in the morning, went to work. Mm-hmm. When Friday came, no political persuasion, paid my bills. When the mortgage had to get paid, I didn't say, look, I'm with so-and-so. Mm-hmm. No, make sure the check's in the mail. So I think a lot of people have lost their way in what they should be fighting for. And put yourselves together. You want to march on something? March on raising money for the sicknesses that need to be taken care of and not overcharged and put people into financial distress. It's just not right. And listen, we'll fight for what we could fight. Hopefully, maybe we do move the needle to a certain degree, but we really want to move the needle. We don't want to just see it shudder a little bit and then it goes down because people lose interest. Mm-hmm. My son passed away. 2,000 people came, supposedly. They told me everybody wanted to do something. With 14 months in, 15 months into him not being here, we're doing the fundraiser. I don't think a half were available. Mm. And that's what happens. If it doesn't affect you, I could feel sorry for you, but it didn't affect me. I'm good.
Right.
So unless you can get the people to stay engaged, interested, to find that solution, it's everybody's for who they are. They're not worried about the next person. Well, unfortunately.
That's why Jar of Hope gave birth to the Hope Show, for everything that you just said. And I respect and admire you for speaking that, because it's true. It's tough to find volunteers. It's tough to find dollars, people to donate, if you're not in somebody's face every single day. And that's why the show is here, to help other people exceed. So I hope this gives you guys a platform. I hope everybody comes out to the Tillinghast on May 3rd to support the Anthony Alfano Foundation, as well as Friends of JJ, because it's important that the families who are affected by cancer get the help that they deserve and need. And Mike, you're a good man.
And in closing, what you have to remember, it's not the amount you give. If you turned around and you put $5 in an envelope and you mail it to whoever, it doesn't have to be what we're discussing here. It's the point that every little bit, like putting drops of water in a glass, if enough people put a drop, we look at the glass half full. Doesn't have to be half empty. And everybody sits back, even when it comes to voting for something. Well, they'll get it done, but if you don't vote and you don't voice and you don't do and you don't participate, you're not being counted. And everything needs to be counted. So if you want to be engaged in any kind of an organization, for whatever it may be, battered dogs, and you want to get together and make sure dogs don't get beat up again, that's fine, But put your energy and time into something that can be fruitful, be used for good, and don't stay on the sidelines. Be active, be engaged, and be kind to people, and it will come back to you. Somehow, some shape, some form, I don't know. But with that, I'm good.
Mike, that's a great way to end the show. Great words of wisdom. I'm Jim Raffone, the host. Mike Alfano. Please visit the Anthony Alfano Foundation.org and support these guys. Thank you.